Good morning. It's Monday. My goodness, July 24th. Not sure where the days are going, but they're going by pretty quickly. And as we get ready for our 24th USA Memory Championship, it's an exciting time for us. It's been wonderful, the number of people that we've got signing up from all over the country to compete in the qualifying events that we have planned this coming Saturday. And I always remember the qualifying events in person when we would have people come into an auditorium or a ballroom. And we started with Con Edison, and we went to a church, and then we moved to Pennsylvania, where we worked out with the Hershey school districts in central Pennsylvania, and always had a great time when we were able to do events at live. We did one year at the University of Pennsylvania. So, I mean, we had a lot of really great events, and that was Penn State, if I may correct that, please, and not University of Penn. But it was always great because you got to meet people on a personal level, and I'm one of these folks that love meeting people on a personal level. It's a good substitute when you have Zoom and you had lockdowns. But we had always done live competitions. We brought people together into Central Sense. It was an exciting day. And then what we would do is qualifying events. We'd have paper and pencil and give them pictures of people, a poem, list of words. We'd get a deck of cards, and we'd have people come together and then take our top scorers. So we had scorers. I mean, it was a very active, intense day of pulling everything together and then finding the top people that we would then put on stage. And people always ask me, gee, how did you get to that stage event? What was it that your thought process was that brought the competition where you went from qualifying to putting people on a stage for an audience to follow? And it really was the work of a call I got one day from Mark Cuban, who was introducing me to his TV producer for HDNet television. And so we had 3 years where we were going through taking people from the qualifying event and putting them on stage, and the audiences just loved it. It was just probably as good as you can get. We packed an auditorium at Con Edison in New York City. There were years where they couldn't let any more people into the room because of the restrictions of fire codes. And it was just fantastic. And boy, we had this thing humming, and we had some sponsors, and it was great. Now we approach the 24th event. So we're back to our 24th event. And due to the COVID restrictions, obviously, for the last several years, we needed to be a little bit more creative. And so through the initial year of COVID, we had to come back with, okay, what do we do now? Well, obviously, technology and organizations allowed us to look at this a little bit differently. And we were very fortunate to have Lumos Labs, you may know them as Lumosity, suggested we might, hey, we'd like to be a sponsor with you, and we'd like to have you use some of our memory games as part of the qualifying events. And so, wow, that was interesting. Okay, we could still have qualifying events. We could still have people compete on a qualifying level to see who's got the best memory. So we had names and faces, and we had different events that we were able to do. And we then got a partner with Memory League. And so we said, well, who's Memory League? Well, it's a company of three different people that have created this application of also memory games. And in the combination of Lumos Labs and Memory League, we were able to pull together 5 events that would be equally exciting for people to compete on, except they wouldn't be sitting in an auditorium or a ballroom. They'd be sitting at home. They'd be in their own studies or studios or dens or living rooms or outside, wherever they wanted to be. And we could get them signed up and getting and practicing some Lumosity games and or Memory League games. And so several years ago, at the advent of the beginning of COVID, we started to do this virtual event, and then 2 years ago, when we were able to bring people back together, we had the JCC, the Jewish Community Center Town Square ballroom available to us in Orlando, Florida. We brought people to Orlando, Florida, just for the finalists. We did not have spectators, so it was our first live event where we no longer were letting spectators come in because, again, we were being very cautious and we respected the mental athletes that would come to the event and wanted to keep them well and didn't want anyone going back home and participating and having fun and excitement and being in the Disney World area and then going home and finding they had COVID. So we made that change 2 years ago, and then we had Full Sail University, which is one of the top universities in the country for media and teaching people how to do broadcasting and stuff. And so they came to the community center, and is what they call the town square, and they did the filming, and we had this fantastic feedback on YouTube of them broadcasting the event on YouTube. And so we had thousands of people now that were watching these 12 people compete in a live to live, head to head, knockout type of competition, where we declared our winner. And so from that point, we said, okay, Full Sail last year came back to us and said, gee, we had to have trucks and we had to haul equipment and we had to do a lot of setups. Boy, is there any chance that we could maintain the town square of the Jewish Community Center in Orlando and still have your competition, but we would love to have it at our studio at the university. It would save us just a whole lot of work, and it would get the students just so much more involved in the equipment that we're teaching them with in our lab studio. And if you could do that, boy, that would just make life a whole lot easier for us. And so off we went. And we did last year's event at Full Sail University. And boy, what a studio it was, and what a production they were able to have. And we had a 50% increase in people who were watching the event on the YouTube channel. So we're now looking forward to the 24th USA Memory Championship. And in the 24th USA Championship event, we are clearly looking for thousands more people to be added on. Boy, we'd love to get another 50% increase in the people that are watching it. We're certainly doing a lot more in terms of promotions and things of that sort. Still have a message for people that is still a bit of a challenge to get out. So if you would have told me 24 years ago how difficult it would be to get people to watch men and women compete for a memory competition, and watch them do that and realize there is so much more we could do with our mental fitness. There's so much more now coming out about the importance of mental health and longevity of mental health to mental challenges. And boy, we feel confident that learning how to remember people's names and face with a face, learning how to do a string of list of words, learning how to organize your thought process as you're reviewing data and points, and visually seeing them and locking them in so you have long-term connection and association with them. We believe we've got 5 events that we put out in front of people that really then also move just not from short-term memory, but we have one where we give them 30 days to remember 2,000 bits of information, and we come back with that event. It's a long-term memory event where they've studied information for 30 days, and now we throw questions out like a Jeopardy style, except we've already given them the answers, and now they get the question and they got to give an answer from what their long-term memory recalls. We have a live event with Tea Party, where we have 5 people come about and give out at least 25 bits of information about themselves, and the mental athletes get 15 minutes to listen first. They listen for 8 minutes, and then they get some notes and they go study this off, and we give them a mind map of the data, and back we come, and they have to recall this information in a sequence, in an order of how we eliminate people in the competition. And it is an exciting live event again. And when you look at the work that Full Sail University has done and their ability to capture this, it's just fantastic. And so we've gotten thousands more people interested, and we've got more and more people that are signed up this year to compete in the qualifying event. And it's still sad to me, though, that we're in the hundreds and not the thousands of people that are understanding the messaging that, it doesn't matter if you win the USA Memory Championship. It matters that you put yourself to the task of learning techniques and skills and put the time into doing something with your mental fitness that is going to have a long-term benefit for you. And that's really the messaging that we're trying to accomplish and get out. So July 29th is our qualifying event. We're working today with MIT to get a Zoom messaging so we can send that out on our USA Memory Championship website, and people can observe and watch what's going on this coming Saturday in the qualifying events, and then get set for the finals, which will be in Winter Park, Florida at Full Sail University on September the 23rd. So time is fast coming. Boy, the team has been planning. Lumos Labs, Nelson Dellis, one of our prior champions, has been helping us along and giving us suggestions from a competitor's point of view. Karen Pinson, who runs and puts the games together, putting lots of work that goes into this, and Michael Dautino, who does our scoring, is calculating and figuring out how we rank and score out our top mental athletes and get them into the qualifying. So people see this event, and from our point of view, we sometimes see some of the bumps in it, but anybody watching this from the outside see it is very seamless, and I don't know that anybody has ever come to appreciate the amount of work that my team puts into this. And so each year we look to get a little bit better, and we look to add a little bit more interest for the home audience to it. And so we bring speakers along that really help give the messaging out of what's this all about, and what is it that you're able to do. So with that, we're off to another week, and within the next 5 days we'll be doing the 24th USA Memory Championship, and hopefully we'll be able to check in on our website and stay with us on this one. Spread the word.